Hello everyone, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Donna. If you're new here, hello and welcome. So in these boxes I have loads of different projects that I've been working on over the last couple of days using my new Pumpkin Renaissance kit. I thought I would put some things together to give you some inspiration on what you can do with the kit. Obviously there's the 3 loaded pockets or layered pockets, I think I've called them, in there already, but there's loads of other little projects as well that you can do with the papers and the things that are included. So I've been putting together some ideas. There's quite a few, some easy, some a little bit more involved, but I'll take you through them. We'll make some together, and at the end hopefully we will have collected a really nice bundle of little projects. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with this project here because this is the one where I had to do some measuring, so I'll just get this one out of the way. For those who also don't particularly like measuring, so this is going to be one of those waterfall style projects. It's using 3 of these cards, and the measurements I'm going to give you are for 3 of these cards. So if you want to use more, you can just obviously just adjust your measurements. So I've got a base here, and the base measures 3 by 4 7/8. I've then got 3 cards here for the pictures. These measure 3 7/8 by 2.5, and they are scored at 1/4 inch at the top. Next we have our cards, and the cards are 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. You don't need to do any measuring for that, just cut them out from the sheet. So we're going to put it together in exactly the same way as it's shown here. So we're going to have our 3 bases stuck onto the big base with the card in the middle. So I want to have 1/4 inch gap at the top here, because that then gives me a nice border all the way around the outside. So what I'm going to do is just mark down 1/4 inch. Which way did I have it? I think it's that way. I'm going to mark down 1/4 inch and just pop a line. So I can centre it here, no problem, but then it just gives me an indication of where I need to stick that first one down. I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue, going to put it on the back of the flap. You can use tape, but I like glue because it means that I can move it. And centering that in the middle and finding my little mark. I'm going to give that a really good push down. Oh, by the way, I've backed this with the paper from the kit. And then I just use some plain card on the back. It's just a white piece of card, and then I've just put some cream paper over the top of that. So the next one we're going to do exactly the same. A lot of you have probably made these before. We're going to get this and we're going to put it right up against there. And then the same with this one. And then we just need to stick these down. So just decide which one you want on the front. I like her. So we can just pop a bit of glue on here. And I've done the measurements so that you get a nice border around the edge. Obviously, the measurements can be altered and changed. And that's the base done. So you just flick it up like this, and then you get all your lovely pictures on the front. So this can be the base of lots of different things. Obviously you've got all the space on the back, so you could put a photo mat, you could put a little pocket. I've got these things here, and I've got some in orange, like a brownie orange, and they're a really nice size to go on here. They're perforated, so I can just break that off. So I think I might stick one of these on to the back of each one. And I thought this would be a really nice thing to maybe use a bit like a gratitude journal, obviously a very mini one, but maybe I thought it would be nice to have a think with my little boy about gratitude. He did a harvest festival yesterday. His class, his year group led it. It was so lovely. And obviously the message behind that was being thankful for what we're given, for what we have, also helping others and those who haven't got perhaps as much as we have. So I thought it would be nice to sit down with him and do like a gratitude type thing. So there's 3 sheets, and I think 3 is a nice number for a 9-year-old to have a think about, and then we can write them onto here. So that's one way it could be used. So I'm just going to pop one of those onto the back of each one. I'm not going to use wet glue because this paper is quite thin. So a glue stick it is. On the back, I think I might put a picture of his harvest festival. And then that will be a really nice keepsake that I can put into his journal that I made for him. You could put a tie around this to finish it off, to keep it all closed. You could put something that comes up, some form of mechanism. I haven't really thought about it. You can obviously embellish it as well. But that's just the basic construction. I'm going to keep it simple for now. And that's project number 1 done. Okay, so project number 2 was kind of inspired by the one we've just done. And it's a little booklet, writing booklet, notepad, whatever you want to use it for. So I have pre-cut mine. And I did measure, but just let me double check how big I cut this to. 4 inches. It's 4 inches long. I scored at half an inch. And these are, did I say 3.5? 3 1/4. Okay, so that's going to sit in there like that. And literally all we're going to do, again, I've backed it on my one of the papers in the kit. Going to sit in there like that. We're going to lift that flap over, glue it down, and that makes the cover of whatever you then want to go ahead and use this for. In this one, again, I've put one of those sheets. I think it looks really nice. It opens up. You can put whatever you want in there then. Some photo mats, notes. You could even put multiple papers in there and make a little notebook. So again, I'm just giving you some ideas there. I'm just going to keep it simple. Again, I'm just going to do the 1. So easy step. So cut yourself a 4.5 piece of paper for your base. Score at half an inch. Cut one of your cards out and glue that down. If you wanted to make this removable, don't glue it down. You can do that, pop some holes through, use some string, and then you can have it that way. And then you can take your papers in and out. In fact, let's do that. Let's do that. We'll do that because then it just gives you more options. So let's pop a hole either side. So one there. One here. So I paste the back on mine. Don't do that. You don't want the thread to go through there because then you won't be able to open it. I just wasn't thinking. Probably because I was just thinking on my feet, but you can. I can hide that, it's fine. So through the back of the photo. Through here. And then just tie it off. Try and get these strings the same size. You can bow it if you want. I'll just do a knot for now. So there you go. So you can actually have it like that. And then all you would do, if you want to put some paper in it, is fold your paper in half. Put your paper in, put the holes in the same place, and thread the string through there, and then you've got yourself a little notebook. Just future me popping in just to say that if you accidentally pierce through the hole like me and you've got some of these rings, you could use some rings as well in there. Okay, you could maybe, if you didn't like just the plain rings, you could put some fabric tied off in a bow just to decorate them up a little bit. But that just gives you another option. I think I would probably prefer the rings with just the one middle ring here. But again, this is just like playing it by ear if, you know, because I made a mistake. So if you're in a similar situation and you've got some of these rings, you could possibly try that as well. Both really quick, really easy. Again, you can either stick it on if you just, you know, if you're happy with this, it's just going to be something permanent. You're going to have a photograph in there. You could even put a pocket in there if you wanted. Or you can use the holes and thread it all the way through. So that's idea number 2. So idea number 3 are these adorable booklets, little notepads. They are so sweet. And they're so easy to do. So all you need is 2 of the pumpkin cards, the ones that are side by side. We're going to trim them, score down the middle and fold them in half. And that will make our front cover. You can use a backing paper if you want to on the back. I actually quite like them just nice and simple like that. I've been using this card a lot recently, but I think the colour just works really well with this time of year. This is the one that I've been using. So it's 100 GSM, but it's a really nice quality thick paper. Fold this back in as well, because I may as well put the pages into that one. So I'll fold in half, then just work out the size I want. And I didn't do a lot. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets in there. And then I'm just going to trim down. So this will help me size everything else. So I'll just put it over the top like that. And then I'll put another couple of sheets in here and then recut it so it's all equal. Okay, so that's 3 sheets, but I think that's plenty. And then let's just chop them down. And just double checking they fit. Yep, so they're a nice size. And then I want to round these corners. Lovely. So then it's up to you how you attach your papers. In this one, where's it gone? I stapled my other one. I cannot find it. It was on my desk. No, it's not on my desk. But I'm not great with the staples, to be honest. And I got the staples a little bit too far forward. I mean, I just covered it with a little spine. If I find it again, I will show you. Yeah, so I just covered it with a little spine, but I think for this one, I am just going to do a quick 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So just making sure it's in the middle. And then with my awl, I'm going to poke 3 holes. So this is the smallest needle I've got, apart from one which is just for sewing thread. I'm going to use this thread here, which I wouldn't normally use if I was doing a journal, but because we're doing a little book, I think it will be fine. And then I'm just going to go through the middle. In. Out the bottom. A bit of a mishap there. And back through. I don't worry at this point whether I come through on the right side, because I can always feed it under later. And yeah, it does need to go under, so I just take my needle like that. So it's just easier for me to do it like that. That's it. And there is an adorable little book. So quick and so easy. Again, just by cutting up those 2 cards next to each other. Like the other one, I think it would make a really nice gratitude journal, or it would just make a really nice little pocket notebook. I put that together very quickly. It could take a bit more time. But yeah, that is project number 3. I'm just going back to project number 2. I may as well use some of those papers that are left over to finish this off. So that's the idea, and you just open everything up. You've got your book, your notebook in there. Okay, so the next projects are more examples rather than actually doing the making with you. So I've used a couple of dies for these. This one is the Tim Holtz, I don't know what he calls it. What does he call it? Has it got a name? Like the pockets that you can get. So I've just cut myself a pocket, made myself a little label that comes with it from some of the backing paper in the kit, and then just stamped myself a little card to pop in the back there. So with those, I would use that either floating, or I would put it in as a tuck spot. I would put it in maybe as a pocket. So lots of options there. That's one of the leaves from the kit. And I've just added a few sparkles and sequins. For this one, I've used this die here. I can't quite remember where it's from. I'm guessing Amazon. And it's quite self-explanatory. I just cut out that bit. And then I cut out, was it the next one up? Or it might be the second one up it could be. Yeah, the second one up. And then just layered them. I use the cards to pop behind the frames, and I just cut them to size so that they would fit. And I just think that's a really gorgeous little piece in itself. Gorgeous autumn colours. I've used the Sizzix card. And again, I would put that on as a pocket, like a side pocket, or a tuck, or I would use it as a bookmark. I think this would make a really nice Christmas present. If you replace these with photographs, I think that'd be a really nice idea. So I've just made those two little ephemera embellishment pockets, whatever you want to use them for. This die here, again, a Tim Holtz. I've taken the file folder, used the backing paper from the kit, and then just paired them with some decorative pieces that I had. This here is the inner bit from here. So obviously when you cut this out, you end up with little stamps. So I put that on. I already had this. I already had these little puffy stickers. Added a few sequins. I made a card from the backing paper, backed it on some cream, and then I just did another one of those. Kept it simple. Again, this can be made as fancy as you want. If you just want one card in there, you could just pop the one in, and then you can still see the tab. Or you could pop something that way, and you can still see the tab. You could put it on a page, 1, 2, 3, and then have the pocket like that. That would be an idea as well. So that is the next thing I did. Again, these are just very quick, simple ideas, nothing too elaborate. And then finally, I had some leftovers. So I made 2 little tags. So I just had these 2 bits of card spare in my bits and bobs box. This was a cut off from this. So it's like the bottom part of one of these photos that I cut off. We've got one of those stamps there. Again, some sparkly string, a flower that I already had in my stash, and all I did was inked up the card with antique linen oxide, tea dye ink, and walnut stain ink. Splattered it with walnut stain and white, and then just built up a little cluster. This circle I already had in my stash. I also had some really nice velvet ribbon, so I've used that on the top. And again, same thing, used some of the backing paper. One of my labels I already had printed. This was from my stash, this was from my stash. Little circle I cut out of gold, and the leaf from the kit. So that was just to finish off. And then obviously we also in there have this project, which is in the kit. It's those loaded pockets or layered pockets. I keep switching between the two. I do apologise. I haven't done anything on these apart from on this one. I just added a little pumpkin to the top. So those are all my ideas. Just some quick makes that I thought I would share with you. Using different elements of the kit in different ways. And for a mini kit and a couple of hours, I've ended up with a really nice stash of things to go into my journals. So I feel like it's been a bit of a whirlwind through that. I was trying to get a balance between showing you, giving you examples, a bit of a tutorial, some inspiration, but also not having a really long video. If you would like me to go into more detail on any of these, I can definitely do that. Just leave me a comment and I will sort that out. Thank you for joining me and I will see you next time. I hope you have fun with this kit. I love it. The colours are gorgeous. It's one of those kits that I don't find too overwhelming. There's not too much to go at, but you still get a really nice selection of things. So I will say goodbye and I will see you next time. Take care. See you soon. Bye.